Hi, welcome to Street Priest Ministries. I'm your host, Brother Jay, as we're taking the Gospels back to the streets. Today's drive-through message is Through the Fire, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. All right. First, I want to say that this is warfare in the cosmos. Behind the scenes, there's a warfare that's been going on throughout the eons. You've heard me, you that follow Street Priests heard me say this over and over again. Between God's forces, the kingdom of light, and his angels, and Satan and the kingdom of darkness, and his fallen angels. And we're on battlefield Earth, caught in the middle of this interdimensional warfare that's been going on, invisible to us, but a lot of times it spills over into our physical realm. Now, a lot of Christians don't believe this. Most are CINs to me, Christians in name only. They don't believe we wrestle against flesh and blood, principalities, powers, spiritual wickedness in high places. This whole earth is demonic and evil when we're surrounded. And a lot of these CINs, Christians in name only, no more believe that this is spiritual warfare between supernatural beings than I believe in Santa Claus. As a matter of fact, they believe in Santa Claus. Old Saint Nick was a Nordic demon. Or excuse me, the devil himself, actually. Saint Nicholas, the devil himself. And so you're still getting back to the spiritual realm, even if you believe in Santa Claus. Just another name for Satan. And it's a pagan religion. You can't escape it. And those that think they can escape it, you don't understand that you're just a pawn in this interdimensional chess game between God and Satan. And both demand two things: worship and ownership. And you are a slave caught in the middle. Because that's what the word servant is, doulos in the Greek. It means slave. And you're truly deceived if you think there's such thing as freedom in a vacuum. You're free, all right. You're about as free as a dog chained up in the backyard of his master, his owner. You're about as free as a goldfish swimming in your tank. You're about as free as a hamster on the wheel, going round and round. You're free, all right. And in the next life, that reality will be established once you leave this life, because it's appointed once for man to die. After that, the judgment, heaven or hell, no in between. You go into heaven, where you recognize God's ownership of you, and you're going to worship him throughout eternity. Or you go into hell, where you recognize Satan's ownership over you, and you're going to burn with him throughout eternity. Stamped with his 666 coming into hell. And you worship him. You worshiped him. There's no in between. Now, through the fire, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is a testament to that reality. So go turn to Daniel 3:1. Daniel 3:1. There's an awakening happening, and mainly outside the church world. church to me is just a funeral parlor, like Jesus talked about. The Pharisees call them open graves and sepulchres. They that worship God must worship Him in spirit and truth, said Jesus. And a lot of the church world is captured. Like I said, they don't believe in this. They did a poll. I forgot what the poll was, but I know it was something ridiculous. As far as they polled them on the question, do they believe in the devil? And it was way over 50% that said no. It was up, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the high 70 percentile. They really don't. It's a religious creed, a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. That's why you never even hear the devil mentioned behind the pulpits in America anymore. They don't mention it. And if they do, it's fleeting. More abstract than anything. They done taken hell out all the pulpits. You don't hear hell mentioned. Jesus had 2/3 more to say about hell than he did heaven. To me, you ain't even a Christian if you ain't witnessing about hell. Because our master, Christ Jesus, the one I follow, had 2/3 more to say about that than he did heaven. And he said, heaven's hard to find. Few there be to find. There's going to be a lot of people deceived by the deceived, so-called Christians. Because they didn't get the very principle we're talking about right now, the reality of true ownership and worship between God and Satan. And the choice to be made, and the deceiver's going to deceive me. Be a lot of Christians burning it in hell. Let's deceive. God gave me a personal tour of the place. I know what they're gonna get if they don't get it right. Then repent. I mean, true repentance, metanoia. Hate to use that word. I'm taught. You guys know I done taught on that Latin Vulgate word, penitence. Word is metanoia. Brainwash yourself with God's word. Change your way. Not to repaint yourself through your own effort. It's for most of the church world through fleshly effort, trying to please God. Now, through the fire, Daniel 3:1. Let's see what true recognition of true ownership, true worship is. Most Christians don't understand. This is what God's looking for. We're giving you a microcosm right here. You know what true worship is. Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image. Now, I done taught a lot on the book of Daniel. You can get that teaching. Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold, whose height was 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, sent together the princes, and the governors, and the captains, and the judges, and the treasurers, and the counselors, and the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Okay, this is one bureaucratic ball, governor. And the image that he made is the one Daniel had given him in the dream of this beastly kingdoms that God's going to allow an age for them to rule until Christ came. The age of Christ is set up. Give my teaching on the age of Christ. Book of Daniel. And Christ King is going to set his kingdom up. I taught on that for the millennium, 1,000 years. Rule and reign and smash this earth with a rod of iron. And coming with I love you, brother. He's coming with a rod on, smashing these kingdoms that don't get it, that he's the boss. Like a clay pot going up against an iron rod. That's how Christ is done. For you Christian hippies and peaceniks out there. Then the princes and the governors and the captains and the judges and the treasurers and the counselors and the sheriffs and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then an herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music. I find it very interesting, because in today's world we live in, the religious falsehood of the day, the worship of the dragon Satan today, that music is very much a key part, playing a key role in the Hollywood music industry, to bring about that in a worship the coming age of this false Christ. I just found that interesting. Here's music ready. Here's the musicians. Music's a powerful force. And I played 4 instruments myself, learning the 5th. I know the power of music to move people. That at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye shall fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. So he took Daniel's vision of what he gave him, that image of the beast, and its ages that's been appointed to him in succession, starting with Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. He's the head of this beastly kingdom of gold. Then you had the breakdown of the various metals, from gold all the way down to iron and clay. And whosoever falleth not down and worship shall at the same time be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people and the nations and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Now he's king of all the earth. Nebuchadnezzar's over the whole then world. So the whole world bowed down to this image. Wherefore at the time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said unto the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whosoever falleth not down and worship, that he should be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. They set him up through their laws. That's how the Antichrist is going to work. It's coming up in this age, through law. Because you pass a law, don't make it a just law. It's a lot of unjust laws that's on the books. It's a lot of unjust laws that's been perpetrated and passed through Congress now. That's unjust. Abridging our freedom. And whosoever falleth not down and wisheth that he should be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the provinces of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Notice they always got some spies watching. Always somebody watching. When you're a man or woman of God, whether you realize it or not, it's going to rat you out if you don't, quote unquote, follow their worldly rules. There's always somebody watching. Satan always got his agents, always around. Rats, I call them. There are certain Jews which thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods. God had said in the faith of that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego follow in the book of Moses, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And that's what I started out by stating. A claim that God makes and Satan makes. And you got to choose. You have free will. That's your free will. And you that follow Street Views heard me use this analogy, your free will, 1,000 times. Your free will is this. Imagine you on the rapids in some type of raft, rubber raft or whatever, and you got a paddle, and you're going down the rapids in Niagara Falls. You can paddle left, paddle right, but unless someone throws a lifeline to you, and you grab onto it, a rope of some type from the bank, and they pull you in, you're going to go over Niagara Falls. That's your free will. That's the best analogy I can give of what free will is. This world is going to hell fast in the handbasket. The Bible declares. And Christ is a rescue operation on the bank to pull those in through their free will. They want to be saved. They recognize the Savior and want to be saved. That's free will. But then again, once Christ saves you, you're bought and paid for with a price. You're a slave to Christ now, doulos. You're not your own. That's what the CINs don't recognize. They're doing the same business on the other side of the street, only hiding under the skirts of Jesus doing. Do as thou wilt is the norm of this world, following Satan. Despite what it's sugar-coated and disguised as. Free will to choose. Who you gonna who you gonna worship? That's it in a nutshell. You don't have to be super spiritual to understand it. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set on, but put Christians here. There are certain Christians. There are certain Christians that don't bow to God. They bow to Christ. They worship Him. If their laws interfere with God's laws, we don't bow. We don't bend. There's a certain few of us. Certain few. And that's all. The rest are sellout Sams, sellout Sallies in a heartbeat. Sounding brass and tinkling cymbals is what they are for far as their faith is concerned. A dead object giving noise, making noise. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They're in a power position. I'm going to say it again slowly in case it went past you. They are in a power position. They're high up on the totem pole of bureaucrats. They're over a province. They're governors. Nebuchadnezzar wanted to get that position of Daniel. Daniel, he rejected it and said, give it to them. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. All these were princes of Zedekiah. Nebuchadnezzar killed. Nebuchadnezzar's Magi, wise men. Daniel said, I'll sit at the gate and let them have this governorship. O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods. No, we don't. We don't serve your gods. We don't serve Baphomet, Hollywood. We don't serve them. And all the other entertainment media, including sports media, we don't serve your God. We don't serve your twisted devil with a twisted agenda. No, we don't serve. We don't serve your RIFD, transhumanism God that's coming up in his age. We don't serve. We don't bow to him. So what are you going to do? We don't bow, we don't bend. We don't burn. We don't serve your globalists. New World Disorder. Eugenic abortion program. We don't serve. Euthanasia program. Wipe out 90% of the people on earth. We don't serve that program. We don't bow to it. We don't bow to you poisoning our earth, food, water, the air, spraying it with your aluminum oxides and everything. We don't bow to that. We're true Christians here. And your number's about up. Your age is about over. That's what we're reading about here. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, that's typical of a demon-possessed ruler of this earth, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said to them, is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Now this is part of his court. This is his governors here. He had to ask them personally. He says, you guys supposed to follow suit, be good little ducklings, and get in line and stay in line. Now these are, I call them Daniels in government that don't sell out. They aren't sellout Sams and Salads. They worship God, the higher power, God of heaven and made heaven and earth, true God, not the little G of this world. You want to be. These are true Daniels. You got Daniels and you got bureaucrats. Bureaucrats that do whatever they told, bow down, sell out. Sell out Sam, sell. You got those two in government. And we got it now. It's what's going on warfare now. They're called good hats versus the black hats. Those recognize the higher power God and doing everything they can to throw a monkey wrench in the globalist agenda. And you got those black hats that worship Satan, doing everything they can to counter what the white hats are doing. It's going on right now for the battle for the soul of this nation. And the white hats are winning. God's people will win. Because when we unite in faith under the flagship of God and His Son Christ, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Nebuchadnezzar spake unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do ye not serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? You have the audacity to not bow down and worship what I have set up. Now, if you be ready, I'm going to give you a second chance, because I know you're slipping. So we're going to start over. We're going to reset this clock. Give you another chance to bow down. Because just in case you didn't hear me the first time around. Now, if you be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image, which I have, made well. But if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is that God? Oh, pay it close attention. And who is that God? It's calling God out. The big G. It's what all these little despot, potentate, demon-possessed, evil rulers think they're God now. Their hairs get so fat. And they want to be worshipped as God. The spirit in them want to be worshipped as God. They're just a tool, a vessel. You got to go to the power behind the throne. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said unto the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this manner. We're not careful to answer thee in this manner. If it so be, our God, whom we serve, our God, whom we serve, God of all creation, Jehovah Sabbath, the God of armies, Lord of hosts, the big G. So who we serve? The God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and He will deliver us out of thy hand, O King. Now that's faith. You want to hear what faith is? This is faith right here. Not all that what I'm used to all the time. But as they say in the South, when the rubber meets the road, what you going to do? Put yourself in this position. Most of you would have bowed down before the man finished speaking. You talk a good one. But when the rubber meets the road, this is faith right here. Read it again for the deaf. If it be so, our God, whom we serve. What did I say earlier? Slave, doulos to God, or you're a slave, doulos to Satan. No in between. Real Christianity should be teaching that. Not the honey dripping fluff that you're used to hearing. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and He will deliver us out of thine hand, O King. But if not, well, in case God changes his mind, be it known unto thee, O King, that we will not serve thy gods. We rather die. Put it to you in street language. We'd rather die than serve your gods, even if we die. We'd rather die than serve your gods. If God don't deliver us, we still. How you feel about that, King? See, there's a next life. And a lot of Christians, early Christians, get books, Fox's Book of Martyrs. Get the book Fox's Book of Martyrs. A lot of Christians paid with their life, including the founder of Christianity, Christ himself. He was slapped on the cross. That's real Christianity, when you're willing to die for your belief. Not a bunch of it. That's what Christianity is reduced down today. All talk and no walk. See, this Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego walk the walk and talk and talk. Ask yourself. Be honest with yourself. Would you sell out? Or would you go through the fire like they're going through? Only God knows your heart. Tell Brother Jay anything. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, full of fury, that demon in him, that roused that demon, that he dared, that they dared defy Satan's kingdom. And the form of his visage was changed. I bet it was. That demon came right out. I've seen the demon on a lot of these world leaders. God gave me that gift. Thou hast Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace up 7 times. Oh, we ain't gonna give no ordinary heat. See, this is a bureaucrat for you. Just like Haman and Ezra. 7 feet scaffold wasn't enough for Mordecai. He had to hang him on a 70-foot scaffold. They always going to over-exaggerate. You had one despot ruler that used an aircraft cannon to execute one of his generals. I mean, just like if an ordinary rifle wasn't good enough. It's over-exaggeration. We're going to make an example of you. A public example.